I bled my rent into a candle chart. Woke up screaming in a circuit heart. She said, "You're sick." I said, "That's the part where the market kisses me, then tears me apart." I ride in trades I don't believe. Whispers in the wick still beg me to breathe. I build my grave in a margin call, buried deep with no one to stall. Burn it down, burn it down, burn it down, burn it down. Spit in the face of a safe escape. Every breath's a gamble, every win's just fake. She cried, "You're gone." I said, "You're late." Then watched my soul sell off. I gave my spine to volatility. Now all that's left is apologies. No God, no girl, just blood on the screen, where I chase the ghost of dopamine. Burn it down, burn it down, burn it down, burn it down. Burn it down, burn it down, burn it down, burn it down.
Oh, brother, oh, brother. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where I'm Matt, your Kohrs, and together we might just be able to pull off this show. It is a beautiful Thursday, June the 5th, and a mere 30 minutes ago, I admit it, I thought today was going to be a nothing of a day. I'll be the first to admit it that I am not a perfect person, and my predictions are the same. They are not perfect. So there I was, a mere mortal lad at 8:30 this morning, breaking down all the data, thinking, man, we're not going anywhere today. We have a lot of resistance above. We have a lot of support below. We just don't have what we need to have a good day. And the market participants are probably just waiting for OPEX tomorrow, really just expiration tomorrow. It's not a monthly OPEX, but that was it. And then I walked away and I was getting ready for the show. I got a couple extra cries in the shower. I played with Piper. I screamed my morning mantra that I was supposed to have potential. And then all of a sudden I come back and all my alerts are going haywire and I'm seeing a bunch of green on the charts. And I'm like, what happened? The ECB did exactly what we expected. The initial jobless claims were nothing that crazy. I'm not even wearing my lucky shirt. What could be going down? And then I realized that there was a phone call. Ring-a-ding, ding, 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 ding. Apparently, President Trump and President Xi Jinping have been talking with each other, saying, hey, brother, what's cooking? And that's exactly why a couple minutes ago, the market absolutely ripped because the market is interpreting this as headway being made on the trade tensions, trade war, drug war, whatever you want to call it, specifically between the U.S. and China, obviously the two large economic powers of the modern era. So that's what's going down. So all of a sudden, we went from a day that really could have just been a whole bunch of nothing to actually potentially kind of exciting here. So very personally excited for the market open, as namely because coming into today, ask anyone in the Discord, I was fully tilted long. I have a lot of long positions on right now. So if we can push and get above, I'm already seeing the Nasdaq above yesterday's high. The SPY was above yesterday's high for a second, kind of calming down a little bit right now. I'm seeing some of my current live plays, Avago, Meta, they are above the closing value. Tesla's getting its nuts kicked in, but that's a different story. That's just because the bromance between Trump and Elon are now over. So we have some individual trading opportunities to talk about. I want to get into the news and just kind of get everyone prepped up. And then from there, I'm hopefully going to have a little extra time for all of you today before the market opens to do some classic pre-market chart review, options breakdown, all that good jazz. Folks, if you haven't already, it would mean the world to me if you guys could all just hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to turn on your notifications. Those things are all free for you and they very much help me out. It tells the algorithms that run my life to promote this channel and this show to other people. So whether you're on Rumble or on YouTube, if you guys could take 10 seconds out of your day, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and then there's also going to be a bell icon that's your notifications. Click on that and set it to all because I'm getting, as we normally do, a lot of reports of people just saying, hey man, I don't get any notification when you're posting stuff. It's never served to me and things like that. So one way to combat it is to go to that bell icon, click on it and switch it to all instead of personalized. And you should be getting those notifications. And with that being said, let's take a little looky-see at the situation. Stock futures are flat as traders brace for Friday's jobs report. Well, I guess the intern didn't update it yet. Well, they just did. Stock futures jump as Chinese state media says Trump and Xi held call. And this is the interesting part, is that it was the Chinese state media. Because remember, not too long ago, we were in the whole he said, she said. Trump kept saying, we're talking. And China said, we're not talking. And it was like, well, who's telling the truth here? I think the key part to this is not only the positive sentiment of it's being reported that they're talking, it's who's doing the reporting. And this one is the Chinese state media. So that's some good news. Before we get into that, well, right here, are there any details on it yet? Let's see. Okay, yeah. President Donald Trump held a call with President Xi Jinping, Chinese media outlet Xinhua reported. I am most likely butchering that, and my sincerest apologies. The call was initiated by Trump. Beijing's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a subsequent statement, U.S. stock futures rose on the news of the call. So that's why things are up. It wasn't because of the early morning stuff. We got the interest rate decision out of the Eurozone. They cut rates once again. I believe that means that they are now at 8 different interest rate cuts. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think they now have 8 cuts in a row, something like that. So that's coming out. That didn't really move the market. Initial jobless claims, in fact, that's actually not good. We got a negative number. There was more jobless claims than we anticipated. So it was really nothing scheduled that got the market going. It was more because of that call. So right now, obviously looking pretty good. The SPY's almost at the high from yesterday, pretty much range bound all day yesterday, even in post-market, pre-market, not much going on. We're knocking on the top of that range, but the Nasdaq is attempting to break out. So we had some enthusiasm early this morning around 4 a.m. when we were all at the gym, getting in our cardio, really crushing the gym there, really just like, who's carrying the boat type of stuff, like carrying the logs. But now the Nasdaq, the Qs are above their high from yesterday. So I am definitely a fan of that. And then two particular tech equities tickers that I've really been watching are Broadcom and Meta. Was also watching Nvidia, looking good. Tesla's getting its face just kicked in. That's the fight between Elon and Trump. Palantir, not long ago, hitting an all-time high, taking a bit of a breather now. The world's second biggest company, maybe the third at this point. Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia are all currently battling it out, but Nvidia maybe has a slight edge. Netflix hitting a new all-time high as well. So lots of interesting things to get into. But before we do that, let me give you some of the other big news from this morning. Trump signs travel ban for 12 countries, including Afghanistan. So before the whole call news, this was the big political news of the day. President Donald Trump signed a proclamation that bans individuals from 12 countries from entering the U.S., reinstating one of the most controversial measures from his first term after an attack in Colorado that triggered an event supporting Israel hostages. The travel ban announced Wednesday covers Afghanistan, why can I not say that? Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial. What is going on with my speech? I've apparently developed a speech impediment overnight. Probably just haven't had enough coffee. Equatorial Guinea. I've never even heard of this country. Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. The measures also partially limited entry of people from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan. What did we ever do with Turkmenistan? Come on, man. Venezuela. But yeah, so this is all because of the very horrific, unfortunate events coming out of Colorado. I don't know how many of you saw it. We don't need to recount it. It was some brutal stuff. But let me make sure I have this sound on for all of you. Travel restrictions. President Trump signs executive order.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them. In the 21st century, we've seen one terror attack after another carried out by foreign visa overstayers from dangerous places all over the world. And thanks to Biden's open door policies, today there are millions and millions of these illegals who should not be in our country. In my first term, my powerful travel restrictions were one of our most successful policies, and they were a key part of preventing major foreign terror attacks on American soil. We will not let what happened in Europe happen to America. That's why on my first day back in office, I directed the Secretary of State to perform a security review of high-risk regions and make recommendations for where restrictions should be imposed. Among the national security threats their analysis considered are the large-scale presence of terrorists, failure to cooperate on visa security, inability to verify travelers' identities, inadequate record keeping of criminal histories, and persistently high rates of illegal visa overstays, and other things. Very simply, we cannot have open migration from any country where we cannot safely and reliably vet and screen those who seek to enter the United States. That is why today I am signing a new executive order placing travel restrictions on countries including Yemen, Somalia, Haiti, Libya, and numerous others. The strength of the restrictions we're applying depends on the severity of the threat posed. The list is subject to revision based on whether material improvements are made, and likewise new countries can be added as threats emerge around the world. But we will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm, and nothing will stop us from keeping America safe. Thank you very much.
So that was the initial hot news of the day until we got the other hot news of the day. Before we move on to the next thing, though, quick question. I know this is most likely a new piece of information for many of us. Maybe you remember it from his first administration, but just generically to poll where you guys are at. Do you agree with this? Disagree with this? Are you a person who supports this travel ban as in a thumbs up, or are you more thumbs down? This is stupid. Why in the world are we doing it? I'm just trying to get a little bit of a community feel on this. And the reason I'm asking is because I'm not the most knowledgeable about this. It came across my desk this morning. I haven't done hours and hours of research, and I think it's important to admit what you don't know. And this is something that I just personally have not spent a bunch of time diving into and learning about. So if anything, I'm definitely a novice on this particular story, this narrative, this subject. So I just kind of am looking for you guys for a little bit more information. A resounding amount of agrees here. A resounding amount of agrees. Huh. Interesting. How would you not support that? It's stupid, but I like it. Agree. It's what I voted for. A surprising amount. Okay. On that note, I believe it also, I saw another thing right here. White House halts new foreign student enrollment at Harvard. So not the exact same thing, but in that similar vein. So that has a little bit more to do with the institution of Harvard, and some other schools are actually fighting with Trump. So that's why he's doing it. But this is somewhat of a related thing of like this foreigner, in this case, foreign student being allowed in the area. So just wanted to quickly share that. So those were the two hot things of this morning before we got the ECB interest rate, where Prophet did correct me. So out of the last 9 meetings, one of them was a pause. And there has been 8 cuts out of the last 9. I appreciate you, Prophet, for giving us that information. And then, okay, in this, I guess, hot news of the day, the other interesting thing is here, Trump and Musk. Musk whips opposition to Trump tax plan, kill the bill. Elon Musk ramped up his attacks against the massive tax cut bill President Donald Trump is pushing Congress to pass. Musk began vocally criticizing Trump's one big beautiful bill the day before, when he slammed it as a disgusting abomination. The ongoing barrage comes days after Musk ended his work as head of the so-called Department of Government Agency. So if you've been following the news, this particular story, or just really the narrative in general, and it does tie a lot to why Tesla is absolutely vomiting over the past couple days, is, as this said, it's on his Twitter. He keeps tweeting about it. Apparently, he's going to be speaking with Mike Johnson today. He is very much against it because the estimates are it's going to increase the deficit at least by $1.5 trillion. And this is kind of interesting because for the while, these guys were riding together. The people who liked Trump liked Musk. The people who liked Musk, they liked Trump. But now we're seeing this splintering, and a lot of people, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who were MAGA Trump supporting people who are kind of getting torn in different directions, because I would say if you polled a bunch of it, not everyone, I'm speaking in generalities, statistics, I'm not saying every single person, there's no such thing as an absolute here, but I think a lot of people with Trump resonated on this concept of bringing the national debt down, specifically battling the deficit. I think that was a big thing of, we don't want a bigger government, we want a smaller government, we want less spending, less government oversight, control. Let's really tackle this deficit. So I think that was part of the reason of what got people to vote for Trump, among others. But on that specific note, just that one potential reason, I think right now people are like, whoa, dude, we voted for you to fix this, and now it seems like you're doing the other way. Even this 1.5 trillion is pretty mild compared to the other recent administrations. No, that's actually very large, increasing the deficit. We're not talking about the debt. Debt and deficit are two things. And Robert, I have a feeling that you don't understand what that is. Based on the current deficit, that's almost 100% increase. Technically, it's a little bit less than the last administration per year. But no, that's actually a massive, we're talking about the deficit, the net difference per year, not the debt, which is obviously going to be the nation's cumulative, like how much we owe. It's straight up debt. Debt and deficit are two, I guess they're somewhat similar sounding, but they are massively different things. And the fact that so many people confuse them is a little bit concerning. Robert, it's going to be important for you to Google that really quickly. Folks, the TLDR is the deficit is the per year differential, the deficit between how much money the government is taking in and how much they're spending. We are running in a net negative. If it was a business, it would not be a good business. Right now, what this big, beautiful bill is doing, it will balloon the deficit, which is obviously then going to add on to the debt, which is more of the cumulative situation. So they're sounding similar, but those are two different things. And right now, Elon is being very, very, very vocal about the fact that he does not agree we should be expanding the deficit. And what's interesting is Trump did campaign on lowering the deficit, and yet this big, beautiful bill is doing the opposite. So that's why I think supporters of the administration are a little bit torn right now. They don't know what to do because in a certain way, they're like entrenched to support the guy they voted for, but then yet he's doing a thing that he said he campaigned on literally doing the opposite. And I get it. In politics, you campaign on a lot of things that you end up just not doing. I totally get it. But I'm saying it's a little bit odd to then go be doing the opposite. It's one thing to not fulfill on what you say you're going to do, but then to get voted in and do the exact opposite. Little crazy. And then even more recently, we have Trump agreeing with Elizabeth Warren that there should be no debt ceiling, as in he wants it uncapped. So if he wants to expand it even more, he could keep going and going and going. So it's, I don't know. I think right now the right-leaning support base is going to end up getting there's going to be now subdivisions within it, either agreeing or not agreeing with the big, beautiful bill. So it'll be interesting to see how this one particularly plays out. I do believe that there could be legit issues here where I think Trump's going to get pissed off because Elon might have the power to kill this bill. A person not in politics, just this tech mogul, this tech billionaire, the world's reported most wealthiest person, he might have enough influence and say, or just influence and sway on what happens in the U.S. that we might have a dude who's not in politics, not elected, killing the bill, the big, beautiful bill, a brainchild, if you will, of another ego guy in the office. And I think this could lead to some crazy stuff. I think this could actually lead to some crazy, crazy stuff in terms of the fighting between the two. Obviously both of these men have very, very large egos. And when you're throwing down like this, the way that they might get throwing down, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Trump is losing patience with Musk outbursts over a mega bill, the mega bill. Billionaire attacks on Trump's tax bill are fraying his ties with the president. Yeah, no shit. Tensions rise between Trump and Musk after Musk criticizes the Republican tax and spending bill as a disgusting abomination. Musk was angered by Trump's decision to withdraw Musk's ally's nomination to lead NASA. The White House dismisses Musk's criticisms, suggesting he is prioritizing business interests. Well, if you take a look at what Elon's been up to lately, let's go see. He's been on a hot one on Twitter. Elon Musk right here. It's just all about the spending and going bankrupt, and then once in a while some SpaceX stuff. But the prosperity, you could just give it a scroll. Exactly. I don't understand the logic of not pushing back on this new bill. Exactly. We're just getting a lot of tweets and retweets, all anti this excessive spending. And I'm sure this is a very nuanced thing that you have to probably really do a deep dive into, but even this, Elon is right. A bill is either big or beautiful. Elon's crusade to gut Washington's bureaucracy had public support, bold plans, and even Trump's backing, but Congress abandoned real spending cuts once the cameras were off, and the $1 trillion big, beautiful bill rolled in without a single DOGE reform. Military spending soared, a Yemen war was launched, and the defense budget hit $1 trillion, while talk of slashing it by half vanished. The big, beautiful bill isn't beautiful at all, and it must go. So Elon riling people up, call your senator, call your congressman, bankrupting America is not okay, kill the bill. If this proves to the point that he ends up having enough influence and sway, dude, I think Trump's going to lose his fucking mind, dude. I think he's going to lose his mind. I think Trump will absolutely lose his mind if Elon's efforts are successful in killing this bill. And then you have people who are strong supporters of Trump. You have lost it, doesn't make any sense at all. And then you have some people who maybe are Republican, but maybe don't necessarily absolutely love Trump. And you're just seeing a division. A division is clearly being made. So it will be interesting to see how it all plays out. If you haven't already, check this out. It's in the Goonie trading community. Yesterday, my premium selling trades right here. Piper fired off at 11:15 in the morning. I ended up selling some premium 20 put credit spreads. I needed the market to close above 5,945 to make $1,200. Obviously, that happened. And in reality, it's been on a roll. The premium selling strategies lately. Yesterday, 1,200. The day before that, Tuesday, $2,000. Monday didn't trade at all. Friday, 1.4. Thursday, 2.6. Wednesday, 1.2. Tuesday 1.3, Monday. I mean, you guys get the point here. Monday, I guess it didn't go where it was Monday. Oh, Monday, the market was closed. So absolutely on a run. Once again, this is a very specific strategy related to selling premium, not buying premium. That's what I post here. Of course, I have my swinger accounts, and I even show you guys that. That's in there too. But this is just interesting to report on because it's a legit trading strategy. If you're curious to learn more about it, remember your first month is absolutely free. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. This is how you get into the Goonie Trading Discord. It's all managed via locals. Promo code Goonie. Make sure that is in there. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Hit that and you'll get free access. You get everything. The educational material, all the previous videos, my trades, the Piper signal, other people's trades, access to the written chat, access to the voice chat. You get access to everything for free for an entire month if you put in that promo code Goonie. Basically, I'm just putting my money where my mouth is because I think you're going to get in there and really like it. And if you don't, just make sure to cancel your account within the first month and you're never going to be charged anything. But even if you do that, you're going to get access to the newsletter for free. So even if you end up canceling, you get full access to this for free where I break everything going down, the earnings. I should call out Broadcom reports after the market closes today. Avago, AVGO, Broadcom after the market closes today. That's going to be a big one. DocuSign and Lululemon are also reporting. A little cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events. We're pretty much done with the big things of the day. It's going to be more so interesting to see how the market reacts to the talks between, reported by China, the talks between China and the U.S. And with respect to seasonality, today does favor the bulls. Over the past 27 years, the bulls have won this day 56% of the time. But when they win with greater size than when they lose. So over the past about 10-ish years, 15-ish years, we've had this nice uptrend. And then also just a shout out for tomorrow, also bullish, maybe not as bullish. Past couple of years though have been pretty good. So the seasonality of the day, or of this day and of tomorrow, a little bit more bullish. So just wanted to call that out to everyone just so we're a bit more on the same page for market open. Speaking of market open, we are anticipated to be opening up at 5983, which is this mega important gamma level. So 5983, pretty much at a key open interest level. So as I normally do, the green, the red, and the white are yesterday's high, low, and close, key technical levels, key psychological levels, and a lot of the time they overlap with key open interest levels. So beyond that, I have this transition zone based on that news that we got this morning. Once again, we're opening up roughly at 8.3. We will be opening up on the north side of the transition zone, which generically favors the bulls. Bullish up here, bearish down here, choppy within, as in the market makers really have no incentive to push the market one way or the other. I do want to add a little bit of a side note. Depending on how you break down the gamma and the delta readings, you could argue that we are within this transition zone is within another larger transition zone between 6,000 and 5,950. So that's why I didn't color this one in. I just wanted to call that out. I don't necessarily think today is going to be the biggest trending day. I would love for it to be, especially to the upside, but there is quite a bit of resistance at 6,000 and there's quite a bit of support at 5,950, which is why I have this secondary box drawn. But for maybe my scalp traders, my day traders, I'd be more so paying attention to these levels that are kind of close by. But depending on how things really get going this morning, 5983, if we can overcome 5985, the natural target is yesterday's high at 5991, 5990, and then from there, watching 6,000. That would be my bull case scenario. My bear case scenario is if we get pushed down to 5975, if we cannot hold the top of the transition zone, I'd then be looking for yesterday's closing value at 5971, and then below that, the bottom of the transition zone at 5960. So that would be my bull case. That would be my bear case. Based on how things are setting up, I personally more so favor the bull case. Obviously, do what you want. I'm not your mom. It's your money. I hope you make even more of it. But for me personally, I am looking to execute upon the bull case. That is my personal plan with respect to the overall market. But of course, when the market does open in a couple minutes, we'll be looking at the options flow of the Mag 7. We'll be looking at the options flow of the S&P 500 to get a better idea of the intraday trades. Are people bullish, bearish? Are they locking in gains? Are they locking in losses? We'll get a better idea then. Let me switch this back to Broadcom. Remember, Broadcom reporting after the market closes today. Let me go to the 1 minute. We're just getting prepped up. All right, we did all of that. Meta, dude, I am murdering it on Meta. absolutely murdering it on Meta. Love it. Right now, the 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour all bullish. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour all bullish. So right now, both price structure and price momentum favoring the bulls. So let's see how things get rocking out of the gate. I've been putting in many, many hours to kind of redefine one of the major trading systems that I've been working on. And I'm hoping today is another nice winning day for that trading system. This would be day 3. Day 1, day 2 went really well. Just trying to refine it, take better advantage of, I don't know, what some of the vol that we're seeing in the market. So hopefully today is day 3 of iteration gazillion of Skynet on all of these futures accounts. But hopefully it's a good day. All right, I have all that audio on, and we have a couple seconds to go. Let me make sure we are all good over here. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. Remember, it's just money. You can't take it with you when you go anyway. You can't take it with you when you go. All right, let's see how the swing account is opening today. Are we higher? Are we lower? What are we looking at in the swing account? Oh, a nice $15,000 gain out of the gate. Of course, all these trades in real time, dude. Broadcom up 208%, Meta up 189. So I'm up 38,000 on Broadcom, and I'm up another 39,000 on Meta. So between those two, almost $80,000. Yes, those are all posted in real time. Ask anyone in the Discord, and let me remind you again, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Those are all posted in real time in the Discord, and you get an entire month of the Discord for free. I want you guys to, I don't want anyone to feel like they got. I want you guys to test it out, see if you like it, see if it's for you. And if it is for you, great. You're more than welcome to stick around. But then again, I'm not everyone's cup of tea necessarily. Maybe for whatever reason, it's not for you. Well, it didn't cost you anything anyway. So there's like no harm, no foul. That's the entire concept of why I give away a free month. That's the entire concept of why. What I'll be doing this morning, kind of waiting around. I want to see how people are positioning. Of course, there is a chance of some profit taking at open, which we're kind of seeing in minute 2 right here. Actually, minute 2 across the board. Dude, Tesla's still getting slaughtered. Bitcoin. Palantir's actually up the most right now, bouncing back. Dude, what do we have going on here? Okay, boom. Right down to the top of the transition zone. Do not be surprised if we bounce from here. We have support at 5975 and we have support at 5971. Looking for at least a little bit of an intraday bounce right out of here. Very important technical levels, psychological levels, but most importantly, option levels. So they're all coalescing right in this zone. I would love to see some dip buyers step somewhere in this 5-point region. But remember, this is just some market open insanity, some market open craziness. I don't think that there's a particular reason to be rushing out of the gate right now, 2 minutes into the trading day, doing anything too crazy. I don't think so. Obviously, the bot has not fired anything yet, but we will see. We will see. The 5-minute actually puked in the red territory. Actually, so did the 10 and the 30. So these are all important tests of the momentum side of things. Are we going to remain bullish? Or are we going to go, unfortunately, bearish? The 4-hour is still pretty dominantly bullish, so let's see how this plays out. But let's see if we can bounce out of here. 5-minute testing, 10-minute testing, even the 30-minute testing. Same thing on the NASDAQ, 5-minute testing, 30-minute bullish, even the 10-minute tested, but seemingly going back. All right, that's the daily. We don't quite need that right now. We don't need this. I'm wondering if we could bounce right out of here. Here's the flow thus far this morning. The Mag 7 was good for the first minute. Since then, got hit, going flat. Looking at the S&P 500 delta flow, we have actually, it's ticking up, which really makes me think we might just be bouncing out of here. Look at the SPY. The SPY delta flow is not getting hit. If anything, people are closing out puts and they're starting to buy some calls. So if we see some little follow through here, maybe there's something to take advantage of. Maybe. It's a giant maybe, because I mean, I'm even seeing these 0DT calls start to get purchased here. Even though price took a hit, options really didn't, at least as of now. Mag 7 may be tilting back. Let's just give it a second to breathe. Let's all calm down. No need to freak out, team. No need to freak out. Oh, I'm freaking out. You're freaking. I'm not freaking out. You're freaking out. Let's see. The Nasdaq is trying to fight back right here. The Qs are trying to pick up, bouncing off the high from yesterday, while the SPY seemingly got rejected at the high from yesterday. Where are we here? Oh, we're right on top. So we have this volume node at 5985, key open interest level. Could not breach the high from yesterday on the S&P 500 we did on the Qs. And right now we are just chilling at this key level. Will support hold, or are we going to break down? I have no idea. There is no model in the world that can confidently time and time again tell you about breakouts or breakdowns. It's a 50-50 guess. All I could tell you is this is a key area. If we bounce out of here, great. We have an opportunity to go to 5985. If we break down, well, we might be talking about yesterday's low at 5966 or maybe 5960. All I could tell you is this is a key area and we got to watch. If buyers step in, yeah, play to the next level. If sellers step in, yeah, play to the next level to the downside. This is just a game of level to level to level. Hood breaking out nicely ahead of S&P 500 inclusion. Cool. Avocado getting hit. Avocado getting hit. We're not really finding the stabilization we would like thus far. Not thus far. Pop down. Mag 7 kind of turning. The SPY was actually really trying to fight there up until the past couple seconds, but the SPY was trending up and price not really reacting. Bit of a strange opening. We might just be having some profit takers of this gap up. People might just be saying, hey, dude, we're happy with it. Maybe they don't want to take on the risk of the Broadcom report tonight. Maybe they don't want to take on the risk of expiration tomorrow. It could just be market open shenanigans. We're not even 6 minutes into the trading day. I don't know if there's necessarily to have some outsized emotional reaction when we just don't really have much going on quite yet. We don't really have a nice established succession of higher highs or higher lows or lower highs. We're just kind of waiting. Options flow, not a clear trend one direction or the other. Stocks open higher after Chinese state media says Trump and Xi called. I bet might be worthwhile to listen to the White House press conference today, just because I'm sure they're going to be asking about it. So Levitt will be speaking. Generally, it's at 1 p.m. I would have to check the White House schedule. Actually, we could look that up right now. White House schedule today. Let's see. No, okay, this is his personal schedule. The president greets the Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, bilateral meeting. Okay, so chit-chatting with Germany today. Does anyone know lunch lit until 12? Does anyone know off the top of their head what time the conference is going to be today? Might be a little bit more interesting to listen to than normal, I'd have to say, just because of the news. Anyone? Micron plus 5%, ARM plus 2.8. Okay, that's still pretty strong for the semiconductor industry. Well, hopefully we find support right here at the high from yesterday on the Nasdaq, and hopefully we find support right here on the SPY just above the closing value. Obviously, the Qs are green by about 0.2%. The SPY is just barely green, and then we have the Russell just barely red. So tech is leading the way. Small cap is lagging behind. We do have some green. Is that a Tesla breakdown alert? Is Tesla getting that hit? I lost one of my charts. Did you guys see that I figured out how to lower the volume? Shout out to Profit. He sent me the steps on how to do it. Dude, Tesla's getting demolished. Absolutely demolished. Gap down, puke, lower highs, lower lows. The next evident level is 307 from a charting perspective right here. That is bad. Well, I guess Musk's feud with Trump is costing him billions and billions in unrealized losses. Wow, that is just getting annihilated. Holy Toledo, Batman. Yeah, I mean, the news of the self-driving, the full FSD death, and then more importantly, the fight with Trump, just because Trump, you never know what he's going to do with EV regulations. You never know what he's going to do with tax credits. It's just the feud could be very legitimately negative for the company, especially when the tech sector is actually looking pretty good. It tells you that something else is clearly going on. Clearly going on. All right. What do we have here? All right. Well, where I wanted it to initially bounce between 75 and 71, buyers are not stepping in. We are pushing a fresh low coming up to this low from yesterday at 5966. How we've almost in the first 9 minutes, we've traversed the entire range of yesterday. The entire range of yesterday. The high to the low. It only took us 10 minutes today. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wow. Wow. Think about that. What we saw all day yesterday. Let me go to the 10-minute just so we can appreciate this a bit more. Right here. That's the high of yesterday. That's the low of yesterday. We just traversed that in the first 10-minute bar. Like, come on. Oh, that's wild. Wild, wild, wild. Wild, wild, wild. The real question is this a dip buy? Or is this just going to end up being a real sell-off? Damn, things were looking so good this morning until they weren't. They were looking so good until they weren't. Tech's holding on a bit better, but the SPY literally vomited from the high from yesterday all the way down to the close, all the way to the low. Maybe dip buyers come in. The Qs are doing a bit better, opened up above the high, hit the high, try to hold it, nope, puke to the closing value. Here's a look at the options flow. The Mag 7 getting hit pretty hard since 9:35, and then the S&P 500, same thing. At 9:35, we started trending downward. Let me check some of these tools. What time is that? That is not right. What time is this? All right, that is not loading. I guess we're just not enough into the trading session quite yet. You guys would hear it, but the bot has not fired yet. I'm just waiting. If it bounces up enough, I know the exact level it will go long at. I'm more so of just, I created it. I know the entries. I know the exits. I just have it. I figured somewhat removing myself from the system and my own degeneracy could be beneficial. So if it bounces enough here, if we bounce up back to 59650-ish, it should take a long position if my new code update from last night is actually working right. If it's working properly. Is it going to do it? 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 Oops, sorry. I think I'm on the wrong screen for you guys. How do I switch this over? How do I switch this over? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Steady, lads. Steady. 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 Nope. Not enough follow through here. Not enough follow through. Mag 7 maybe finding a bottom at 940, showing a little bit of life. S&P 500, same thing at 940. So we popped, we dropped, we popped. We're seemingly dropping right now. Welcome to the chop fest, folks. I know price is down, but the other metrics we have are more so suggesting chop. So I don't know if there's anything. I don't know if there's anything really too insightful that I can give you guys right now. We need to see some established pivot points. We have an established high. Maybe we're establishing a low right now. I just want some succession of higher highs, higher lows, like just something that we could play off of for trend reversals, trend continuations, just something along that line. We need something. They got to give us something here. And until then, we wait. Until then, we wait. What's your take on Tesla? You were very bullish a few days ago. Yeah, it broke down. I'm no longer bullish. Well, in the long term, I'm still bullish. But in terms of, I wouldn't be having a short-term active trade right now. It has lower highs, lower lows. By definition, the trend is down. Why would you be long on something that, by definition, is bearish? As a swing trader, you want to be with the trend in the swing time frame. And right now, the swing time frame is lower highs and lower lows. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow it turns around. But as of this exact moment, it's literally breaking down. It's vomiting 5%. Why the fuck would I ever do that? So I think the time frame is very, very important. And for me, on the daily chart, when I see lower highs and lower lows, that's literally the definition of bearish. That is the definition of bearish. Market wide halt Mullen. That's a really weird way to say it. You just say halt. Give another look at PL. What the fuck is PL? Are you pitching some shitty penny stock, dude? What the hell is... Oh, this is a failed SPAC stock. Yeah. The fact that it was at 10, they announced the SPAC deal, it vomits. You want to chase something going up 46%? I mean, good luck if you do it. But I would never trust you with my investment account ever. I don't know why so many people want to chase. Like, what if you're already in it? If for some reason you like this crossover or maybe this breakout bar and you got like absurdly lucky and it just gapped up to here, congrats. But if you have no position, you have no business chasing something up 47%. Like, it doesn't. So many retail traders are so willing to chase. But what's crazy is the professionals who do this game, they never ever exhibit that type of behavior. They're never like, and I never understood that in terms of retail. Retail seals something up big and it's referred to as recency bias, where they're like, oh, it's up big, so it has to go up even bigger. No, it doesn't. Not at all. I asked you to look at it a few weeks ago. Yeah, dude, I'm not going to be interested in playing failed SPAC opportunities. That's silly. I mean, that's not good. Why are you interested in... Okay, you should be bullish on companies that like are doing well and have a short-term pullback. You shouldn't be looking at like dog shit companies that maybe have like a little bit of a pop. Like, the key to this game to being a successful bull is finding something that has a strong trend to the upside, a quality opportunity, and in the short term, it has a bit of a pullback. You take advantage of the pullback, and then you try to ride it with the overall larger trend. And then on the opposite side, if you're looking for something weak and you're bearish, you want something that is super weak. In the short term, it has a bit of a pop up, and then you want the overall like major trend to continue. You don't want to like be the person saying, hey, I know this company's been dog shit and I just magically think it's going to come back now. That's not how you do it. That's definitely not how you do it. I mean, it's literally just a failed SPAC company. Like, that's impressive. Yeah, if you happen to magically get in, you're now at 47%. But look at the weekly, dude. That's like, this is a company that's jumping out to you. If you were to touch it now, you literally have 51% risk to the recent low. Just the risk reward isn't there. If you choose to play it, obviously I wish you luck. I don't want you to lose money, but in just the game of pure math, like a risk reward setup, you have to look for something that has far less risk. It's just, even if it keeps going, you have to consider the risk you are taking on to play that. And that's a huge amount of risk. Matt, if you had to pick a stock to buy, AMC or Mullen, and no, you can't set your money on fire, I would just actually set my money on fire. Like, you're going to lose money on both AMC and Mullen. Like, what's the point? That's just fucking stupid. Anyone on this planet that's telling you Mullen and or AMC is a bullish opportunity to invest in, like, is actually retarded. Like, they should be banned from being in the stock market. They are legitimately too stupid to possibly handle this game. Dude, everything is getting clocked. Look at Tesla, will not stop. It's down $20. It's down almost 6%. This thing is just vomiting. Absolutely vomiting. That is bad. This is what happens when you get into a public altercation with the world's most powerful man, who's also in control of EV tax credits and EV mandates and auto regulations. That's what happens when you fight the world's most powerful person. Your stock gets crushed. Mullen has been a fun scalp, though, for sure. I mean, whatever. there's better things to scalp. Go scalp in the futures market. You'll make more money. I'm up on my AMC by 9 G's, moron. Wow, you're so smart. You're so good at trading. You have one successful trade. Yeah, that makes me dumb. Swamp Fox, I would bet my life savings that you are net down as an active trader. Congrats. You have a winning trade in a series of piece of shit, dumbass trades, and you're stoked about one. I would much rather take my net situation over your net situation. You're the dumb person who's at a roulette wheel and you're like, I bet on green and it hit, so my strategy is good because you can make money betting on green. Yeah, you can make money. That doesn't mean you're going to be net profitable. And the fact that you are like too dumb.
Order.
Oh, bot went long.
Order submitted.
Bought the dip. Skynet going crazy. Skynet going crazy. Oh, brother. Bought? All right. I was just managing some risk. I wanted to bring the risk up a bit here. Wow. It went long? Dude, this bot has more balls than I do. It has more balls than I do. This bot is trying to catch a falling fucking knife right now. Holy shit. The cojones on this thing. The absolute cojones on this thing. I'm a little scared about this, if I'm being honest. I'm wondering if I should tighten up my risk a bit. I'm wondering if I should tighten up my risk even more. It's not risking much. It's not even 10 points because I, as you can see, moved it up quite a bit. This bot has some balls on it. I guess technically it should be 65. Moved it down one tick. Who knows if that one tick's going to save me or help me. It might cost me just an extra $12. Jesus, it's going to get tagged. I wonder if it'll reverse from here. That seems a little silly. Oh, it's getting close. Dude, this bot. All right, stopped out.
Order canceled.
That's insane that it bought that. I see what it did. It was basically the math behind it is we had too large of a move to one direction or the other. So it was a mean reverting play. And then granted, the bot itself would have used the intraday low as its risk. I didn't feel like risking that much. I kind of wanted to just come to this low, hence why I picked 65. But I guess this was enough of a potential return. And what's really weird about it, and I guess I see why, it's because we're at like a 2 standard deviation move on this market open. So it's just saying like it's an abnormal move to the downside. So it's trying to revert it back up just because we don't, like, based on the recent ATR, we just don't see moves this dramatic. Interesting. Oh, wait, this screen is, oh, fuck. There. Why can you guys not see the trade? It went long. Well, you could see here, I lost 380. It went long somewhere here around 73, and it just got out at 65. So went long. It was a loss right here above my head. I don't know why it's not painting it anymore. My apologies, but you can see the loss locked in. I was on this breakout bar here at 950. It took that long, was green for a little bit, and then it came all the way down. I moved my risk to 65, and on this little dip right here, it just got clipped. Just got clipped. And I guess the net situation is above my head, which is technically I did override it. Technically, I moved it up by a couple points, which if this continues and actually breaks out and doesn't make a fresh low, I'm going to be pissed off because the initial system actually would have had the loss a tick below that intraday low. It basically would have said you have to go lower for it to get out, while I moved it up a couple points thinking I was saving myself $150. But if this ends up being the new low and we bounce off of it, I guess that gives some legitimacy to the fact that maybe I should have just let the system do exactly what the system wants to do. Maybe, just maybe. All right, where are we at in terms of... Well, we are at the bottom of the transition zone, so that's not so good because we are on the other side of it. There is massive support in the market at 59.50. This might be a reasonable dip buy. That's about 7 points away. Once again, 59.50 all the way down here. 59.50, huge technical support, but more importantly than that, huge open interest support. So I wonder, maybe, dude, we didn't flush. I probably should have just stuck right to the bot. This is going to be embarrassing. That's going to be embarrassing. I didn't override I kind of overrode the risk. I wanted it to take on less risk. I didn't touch the reward. I definitely wouldn't touch the reward. But if this bounces out of it, if that really is the low of the day and the bot picked it 2 minutes later, if we end up not going, that's going to be frustrating. That's going to be uniquely frustrating. Okay, Broadcom and Meta. Tech is trying to fight back. We do see some higher lows on tech here, while we see equal lows on the SPY. Tech is trying to pick back up. It definitely is. All right, let's look at the flow really quickly. The Mag 7 puked up until about 950, kind of going flat. And then the SPY, same thing, puked up until about 945, tried to pop, came down. Might be gunning for a new low here. Unfortunately, even though tech is trying to bounce, the SPY is seemingly dragging it down. So it has to be other sectors. Energy, XLE is vomiting. Financials are vomiting. Utilities are stabilizing. Industrials are vomiting. Healthcare is pretty bad. Consumer staples, stabilized after vomit. Consumer discretionary, vomiting. Real estate, basically everything out of the gate. And then the final one is tech, but even that's looking pretty brutal. Like, I'm actually not finding a subsector that's looking good right now. So if by some miracle you ended up deciding to throw on a bearish position this morning, congrats to you, because I mean, out of the gate we were looking strong, and since then price has just gotten hammered. Individual tech names are trying to do well. Netflix is up 1%. Microsoft's in the green. Meta's in the green. Broadcom's in the green. Palantir's in the green. Other ones are deeply red, like Tesla. Tesla's like actually getting its teeth kicked in. So certain individual equities are doing all right, but across the board, the sentiment is not a good one. If we look at the heat map of the S&P 500, actually not as red as I thought it would be, probably because everything gapped up so large that right now it's just trending back down to break even. So the intraday action has been down, but in terms of where it is relative to the previous close, I guess a lot of these are now just like at parity. Wow. Look at it. Just minute one, we had some hope, and then just vomit. Absolute vomit. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Interessante. Interessante. I'm almost wondering, should I turn the bullish side of the bot off? Should I only go on the bearish side? Which is weird, because early this morning I was almost thinking, well, hey, this might be a dip buy here. 59.50. This is a key level. Like, as in the bulls really, really need to step up here. And the Mag 7's getting clocked. The SPY, some buyers are stepping in. This, I mean, if there were a point to bounce, 59.50 would be it. I mean, look at all this positive gamma we're now in. The spot gamma implied 1 day move low. We're starting to get to even more of a statistically abnormal move to the downside. Look at all this positive gamma between 59.60 and 59.35. Wow. And no buyers are stepping in on this yet? I guess the buyers are nowhere to be seen. All I'm seeing is call selling and put buying. Yeah, call selling. A lot of call selling, actually. A lot of call selling. Huh. Well, if the bears are too aggressive or if the bulls do not step in at this level, we're definitely looking at an additional drop here. We're definitely looking at an additional drop. I'm just wondering if this dip is worthwhile to be bought. I did not turn off the bullish side of the strategy, and it's about to fire. I'm checking it over here. Wow.
Order submitted.
It just, I didn't turn it off. It just went long again. All right, we'll see how good this thing is at buying the dip. We're going for it again today, boys and girls. Fuck. I mean, I don't mind it. This one I don't mind. This one was a little bit sketchier to me just because we overshot this level, but in reality, I didn't mind it that much. It was a little late. This one makes a bit more sense because of how important this level is, that if there were a point for buyers to step in and maybe try to retest the low or something like that, it would be 59.50. So I don't mind it. Obviously, if this breaks down, I'm out. That's why my risk is exactly set to where it is, because that means that this support is no longer acting as support. As I was alluding to before, when you're playing support and resistance, there's no model that can successfully tell you time and time again if support's going to hold or if it's going to break, and same with resistance. All you can do is say, hey, that's an important level, and we're going to try. It's all about, can you just minimize your risk? In reality, I probably should have bought even earlier, because if it popped enough, but then with it, if you just buy it right at that level, then you're playing the game of like, is it really just going to dagger through? Most likely not. It probably would have been a bit of a stronger play instead of getting in at 65 if I got in at 62 right here when it showed a little bit of strength, because then I could have just minimized my risk a lot, like a ton, if I just took this long entry at 959.53 right here. That bar, like range, breakout, cool, take that long, risk that low. And just, I mean, I would have been taking on like a 4-point risk, which is completely manageable. Instead, I chased it to another 4 points. So it actually, in fact, doubled up my risk. So that's probably something I could have. And even now here, we're at a major volume node that the market is, dude, just lower highs, lower lows. This is such a mode of catching the falling knife. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of this at the moment. I hope by the end it plays out. It's going to be like, whoa, he caught a V-shaped recovery and we just ripped to new highs. And how do you get in at the low? But that always feels good when you're done with it. The moment you're in it, doing it initially, that's where you're like, yo, what the fuck did I just do? What did I just do? But remember, you can survive this game as long as you keep your risk in check. That's the name of the game, because on those big V-shaped recoveries, if you're catching it with reasonable risk, as you're always minimizing your risk, you don't even have to be right that often to be net profitable, just because it's so asymmetric. The payoff for being right is so much greater than the losses if you can control your risk. That's why in the very first trade, I kind of cut it earlier, and like it's just manageable. I don't know where the market's going to go. I'm not a fortune teller. All I'm in control of is, what the hell is this? All I'm possibly in control is just controlling my risk. That's my job. That's my job. And this one, unfortunately, it looks like that risk is about to be hit. I guess on the other side, if you have a poor strategy, you could argue death by 1,000 paper cuts. So it's just more of, can you get that one nice big winner before the paper cuts take all of your money for you? Come on, give me a little bit of a bounce. We are at support. Let's see if support holds. Has Trump just had a phone call with Xi? Dude, I think you're real late to what the fuck is going on today. All right, I'm seeing a potential higher low on both the SPY and on the Qs. The Qs are setting up maybe now with a bit right there. I'm watching this new upsloping trend line. Granted, it hasn't really made a fresh high. I'd want to see it take out 529 first. So the Nasdaq attempting to lead us back to the promised land, but the SPY and really just the whole market as a whole has been getting hit since market open. Brutal. Tesla actually catching a bid. Come on, let's take out some recent highs. Let's change the structure. Clearly, we have lower highs and lower lows. That's not good. Lower highs and lower lows, not so good. But can we change the structure? Can the change of the hour be the dip buyer stepping in? Remember, we've over the past how many weeks or months, we've seen a lot of market shifts happen somewhere between 10 and 10:30. So granted, it's a risk, but that's the risk I'm taking today. I'm hoping somewhere between now is the actual bottom and we just make a full V-shaped recovery all the way back up. So the bot missed out on the first one. On the second one, it's attempting to buy this dip. I kind of want to minimize my risk again. Where's the bot saying to put my risk? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Risk management. Risk management. So my mind's going in a couple different areas here. Option one is leave it right here at the low of the day and basically say, hey, that is the low. We're going to bounce off of it. And if it breaches it, that's the risk point. Option two is going to the next low that we just established at 61. My entry's at 64. That's risking 4 points. That's $200, which would put my net loss at almost just below 600 on the day, 500 and some change. Okay, so if you do that, obviously it's less risk, but then you give the market more room to breathe. The other extreme here is no important technical level, literally moving my stop up to break even, so I have no risk, but then the odds of getting wicked out are the highest. So that's the trade-off is you can take on less risk, but the trade-off is giving the market less room to breathe. That's going to inherently be the trade-off. 63. Fuck. Honestly, I'm hoping maybe this trend line or something like that can hold, and I really do. I think I'd give it more room to breathe if I did not trade at all today. But the fact that I already locked in a loss, I am leaning towards just taking on no risk and going with the lotto play. That's where my head is currently asked. Is just, hey, if you could catch a runner, and hopefully it just keeps going from here. That's kind of where my mind's at. But I would feel like just pop. If we can make a fresh high here, I'd feel so much more comfortable about it. All right, let's look at what the options flow is. Well, the Qs are actually coming up to their trend line. That doesn't make me feel so good. Oh, okay, we got this bounce off of 59.50, the level we called out before the market even opened. We have the high volume node of the day at 59.56, about 3 points below us, and we are struggling to get back into this transition zone as of now. Not long ago, last week, I want to say it was was it Monday of this week? Monday of this week, I had the transition zone. It went up, It seemingly failed. I went short, and then it ended up ripping the entire time. Now, granted, anyone paying attention to math, you could be like, Matt, that is one data point. You can't be basing trades off of it. I'm just pointing out the similarities. I believe if you watched the stream on Monday, that was the situation. We puked below the transition zone. We went up, and then on this first failure, the first 2 minutes, I went short, and it actually based, and then we ripped. And I held on to that too long, and that's how I ended up blowing out the accounts because I didn't listen to the bot's risk or anything. I just took the signal and said, hey, it has to work. Now, granted, that's a singular point. That was one data point. That's not enough to like actually base anything empirical off of. My thing fell here. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. We puked out of the transition zone, 259.50, back up to the bottom of the transition zone and hung out there for maybe a minute, got smacked, and now we're not even holding this high volume. And when I say high volume, that's just where a lot of trades went through. Most of the trades of the day got executed at 59.56. Fuck, I'm not liking this. I am not the biggest fan of this right now. Little fake out fresh low that we bounce out of. I'd much prefer that this market holds above the highest volume node. This is where a lot of people transacted, 59.56. Generically, if you're above the high volume nodes, thought to be bullish. If you're below it, thought to be bearish. The node itself, remember, all trading has a buyer and a seller. So when people like to say bullish volume or bearish volume, you could talk about are they meeting on the bid or the ask, I suppose. But in general, just looking at volume is not a bullish or a bearish thing. Volume is volume. If you have a buyer, you have a seller. If you have a seller, you have a buyer. That's what volume is. It's when a willing buyer and a willing seller meet. So someone is bullish enough to buy and someone is bearish enough to sell. That's what volume is. So when I understand when people try to talk about volume, most likely what they're referring to is the trade itself. Are you meeting on the bid, which is going to be a little bit more aggressive on the sell side, a little bit more passive on the buy side, or are you meeting on the ask, which is going to be the opposite? It's a bit more aggressive on the buy side, a bit more passive on the sell side. Okay, please be a higher low. Please be a fucking higher low. All right, we took this back out. Let's look at the flow. Mag 7 is flat. S&P 500 is also flat. Fuck. Dude, I am playing with fire on this trade. I don't even know why. I think I just, speaking of recency bias and anchoring, I think in my own mind, because of how strong we were this morning, maybe that was my personal misstep, is going for the long trades on the bot system, where maybe I should have been letting it take the long and the short trades. Oh. I'm thinking, obviously, my risk right now is the intraday low. I'm really thinking about moving it up to this low just to save myself another $150. Obviously, the trade itself is break even. The trade itself is break even. How do I want to handle this? What would you guys do? If you guys were my financial advisors, would you just let this ride? Would you move the stop up to this shelf and take on no risk? Or would you move it to this recent low? Would you guys put it at 5957, 5960, or 5964? Let it breathe. Go short. Well, I don't want to go short. I don't really have a reason to be going short right now because the delta flow is seemingly stabilized. It's a question of will it pick back up? Double down. Don't want to do that. Could looking at recent news help? No, the recent news is already now priced in. It's almost priced. It's priced in immediately. There's not going to be delayed reaction for how advanced technology is right now and all these bots and interpreting news. That's like, it's priced in like honestly faster than like we could even blink. It's not as if it takes like a half hour. News, when news is out there, first of all, when news becomes available to the retail trading public, you could probably be rest assured that the professionals already have the news. And then even if it's a big data drop, like a CPI report, PCE report, you guys see how quickly the bots react to it. And that's actually delayed because it takes a while for your charts to paint this and that. Like the amount of trades that are done, like literally within microseconds, would astound you, absolutely astound you. This idea of like, oh, check out the news from this morning, like maybe that's going to have an influence later today. It's already priced in. People already traded off of it. If it's in the news, it's in the price. Oh, I love that saying. I haven't heard that before, but I'm going to steal that. If it's in the news, it's in the price. Yeah, it's as instantaneously priced in as it could possibly be. All right. I'm hoping this is a patience play. Shit, that's what I was going to just say. I hope this shelf right here can hold. We were making a nice shelf, kind of giving us this lower high, looking for that breakout. All right, I'm moving my stop up a little bit just because I would assume the odds of if we take this low out, there's a good chance that we're retesting this. So it's just going to save me a little bit of money. But I'm hoping really what I want to happen to give you guys my trading plan is taking out this recent high that was established at 10.06. We do that. I move my stop up to break even. Then I have a free lotto ticket play. No risk to me. If it runs, it runs. But couldn't understanding the recent news, like in the first few minutes, help you get a feel whether it's an overreaction? No, because you don't know if your interpretation of the news is right or wrong. Like there's not some like answer key out there of when we get a piece of news such as like the jobs report or something and all the other information that comes with it or this. It's not like you come up with it and then there's an answer key and they're like, yeah, you're right. Your interpretation was right. Your interpretation might be completely wrong, but your end result, you might be like, I think it's bullish. And if the market goes up, that would reinforce it, even though your interpretation could be wrong or vice versa. So it's just, you don't know what other market participants are looking at or weighing. So you don't definitively ever know if your interpretation of the news, none of this lives in a vacuum. There's not some like ultimate universal answer. So as much as you could come up with, oh, here's my breakdown of good or not good, you don't like, you might be right or wrong, and it might or might not be represented in the market. It would also be easier if most of the news wasn't fake. Swamp Fox, I'm getting a really like dumb vibe from you. Really, really dumb vibe. Is that, do you think throughout your life, most of your colleagues, friends, and teachers like would have described you in that way? Do you think like that's like a generic way that you would have be described? Like your closest circle of people that deal with you the most, would you say that's like a common interpretation they have of you? Is that you're just kind of a dumb person? Would you say that's fair, or that's just the vibe I'm picking up on? You know how certain people give off certain vibes? That's definitely the strong vibe that I'm getting from you. Fucking so silly. So dumb. So fucking stupid. But hey, it takes all kinds to make the world go round. It does. Oh, fake out little breakout here. Oh, is this just going to be enough to clock me? I keep trying to buy this dip, and the dip just keeps dipping. Tesla's actually attempting to turn back around here. All right, we did have one trend line that on the SPY and on the Qs both got broken at 10.09. But then it did establish a higher low, so we just had to redraw this trend line. And now we're just kind of awkwardly waiting to see which way this new one breaks. To be fair, the tech sector has been attempting to recover. Look at that pop at 10.05, much stronger than what we saw in the SPY. But now, nonetheless, we have lower highs, higher lows. By definition, lower highs and higher lows. That is the definition of consolidation. So we're here. We are here, just waiting. The Mag 7 is attempting to climb upward. And The SPY is diving though. Jesus. Okay, so the Mag 7, we have bulls stepping in ever since 10. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to matter as the SPY is just getting fucking murked. Do not close your position. Stay on long. Trump will be speaking 12-1. Could be news. Make India fly. Good luck, brother. It could also make it horrible. What? Just by the fact that he's speaking, you think that it's going to be good? I mean, I hope it's good based on my positions. I'm not by any means hoping that you are wrong in your interpretation. But there's been many times that, yes, he has spoken and the market has rocketed, but there's also many times that he's spoken and the market has dumped. It's a 50-50 bet. You're flipping a coin on that one. And once again, that's an okay bet. A 50-50 bet is all right if your payoff is better than your loss. If you're going for $2 but losing $1 on a 50-50 bet, in the long run, that's an advantageous thing to do. Yes, for sure. But once again, that then comes down to your risk-reward management. So I guess I'm not necessarily against 50-50 bets. I'm not against any generic odds. You have to know the expected win and the expected loss. For example, a 50-50 bet with a certain risk to reward could be better than a 99-1 bet. Even though you have a 99% chance of winning, if you're only going to win $1, but when you lose, if you lose 1,000, that's not a good bet to be in. So whenever anyone gives you the odds, you should just shake your head and say, okay, and then you have to wait for the other numbers. What is the expected win? What is the expected loss? And then see if you have positive expected value. All right, we're knocking on the door. The Qs are attempting to break out. The SPY might be. Mag 7 is still showing strength, and the SPY maybe stopped vomiting here at 1018. And I am somehow magically in the green, which, trust me, no one is more surprised about that than me right now. Trust me, no one is more surprised about that than me. All right, let's take a look at some individual equities. Tesla bouncing ever since 1011. Nvidia trying to recover since 957, not the best. Palantir got a nice bit at 940, pretty much flat ever since then. Microsoft is bleeding off. Apple is bleeding off. Netflix had a nice pop up until 10, now just going flat. MSTR got hit up until 10, now going flat. And then Meta got hit until about 950 and now slightly trending up. So that's just the generic delta flow on some of the major ones that we pay attention to. Are they talking about anything interesting on news? Costco. Okay, maybe a SPY little breakout here. Tesla twirling back around. Meta. Yo, I didn't get it on the first time, but did the second lick of the apple? Did I finally catch the bottom here? Did I finally catch the bottom? Matt always repeats himself twice. Well, that's because we have certain people like Swamp Fox in here who, unfortunately, you need to say it 5 or 6 times for them to even start to understand the concept. V News, for you and many other people in here, I understand that you guys get it on the first statement. But you have to understand with a show like this, we do have certain people like Bruce, certain people like Swamp Fox, who it's on the 5th, 8th, 10th iteration that they're like starting to get the first part of it, you know? So I get that you guys leave Swamp Fox alone. He's goated. Yeah, best AMC trader out there, dude. Best AMC trader out there. And it is unfortunate for my other viewers. Like, I know you guys get it the first time, and I'm sorry that it's all right. I should probably just go to break even now. All right. Do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it? All right. Stops moved to break even. Stop is moved to break even. To break even. All right, I don't mind it. We're trying to catch the dip. That's not my actual profit target. If that hits, that'd be sick, but I just kind of arbitrarily have up an OCO. Folks, I was fishing today. Hey, I'm back in net green. Fuck yeah, dude. This is what America was built on, net green. We caught one. We caught a fish there, Tonto. All right, VWAP is coming up here. We caught a fish. We're going fishing. We're going fishing. We are going fishing. Okay, so I have a locked-in loss of 400, so that's 8 points. I'm long at 65, so I need it at 73. So 73, I'm going to move this horizontal line up. This is my break even on the day. So obviously on the position, I'm green by whatever the fuck it was. But for my accounts to be break even, I need it above this horizontal light blue line, so everyone knows. So current position is down here. As you can see, it is up $500, aka 11 points or whatever it is, or you could just see the number above my head. But for my accounts, and I'm trading on 30 different accounts right now. For my account, what the fuck? Why is this one arbitrary account not trading? What the fuck? Oh. Well, I guess I might as well trade on it now because it's basically break even, right? It's break even. Should I trade it? Is this stupid or not? I guess the only way that math, to keep all these accounts in sync, there's just one account that's not trading. I'm confused on how to handle this.
Order filled.
I guess when in doubt, just let it rip. All right. That account now has a position, I think. Yeah. And it shouldn't be that far off from the other ones. 75. So it's off by about $100. That's manageable. I don't know why. It was probably me in the copier and I just didn't use it right. But yeah, one account was, hey, all right, VWAP test. Yeah, that's a bit weird. So the net situation is not too far off, but definitely took a very different path. I literally, out of all 30 accounts, I turned on the trade copier for 29 of them. So that's 100% on me. That is 100% on me. Click here to log out. All right. All right. And then I need to manage. All right. So I have to trade these two now independently. Where do I want to put my stop? I could just move it up to this level. That's going to be break even. How do I want to manage this? Oh, I guess just ride the trend, you know? 69. So
Order
okay.
submitted.
All right. So yeah, this one is 29 of the accounts, and then this one I forgot to toggle it on. So the net situation shouldn't be that far off for the account value. This one by itself is now off by $100. So I might try to let it run for an extra 2 points just to equal them out. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I am officially in the green. This teal line is my break even. So should I just move my stop up there now and just say fuck it? Just in case there's a VWAP rejection, because at least I dig myself out of the hole on the day, and then I could get lucky. And if there's a VWAP, I might just do that. All right. All right. Hey, your boy's back in the green. Your boy's, well, maybe not in the green. Your boy's at least not going to lose money now, you know? I moved it up aggressively just because the market does seemingly react to VWAP. So just in case there's a rejection right here and it comes all the way back down and we take out this low and this low and this low, well, the way mine has worked out, at least I will dig myself out of the current hole. And hey, I'd rather be break even on the day than losing on the day. So worst case scenario is on this one individual trade, I'll make about 8 points. But then the net situation on the day is I will be slightly green on 29 of my 30 accounts. So if it runs, it runs. I hope it runs. And if it doesn't, well, I can't complain that much. The SPY is currently battling it out at the red to green move. That's another reason why if it does get smacked here, I don't necessarily want to be involved. Obviously, we have this nice trend line breakout. So as the SPY is battling it out at the red to green move, like literally the closing value from yesterday, the Qs are battling it out at the high from yesterday. Let's look at Avago, looking good. Metal, looking good. Palantir is actually up the most on the day. On my watch list, it's up 1%, followed by Netflix. followed by Microsoft, followed by Meta. Apple and Tesla are in the red. But Tesla was trying to fight back for a second. Let's go to the 3 minute. Let's go to the 3 minute, 3 minute, 3 minute. All right, let's zoom in. Okay, and now I'm just hoping. I'm praying. It's not necessarily the best trading strategy, but it is a solid trading strategy when you have your stop already placed. So if it comes down, I'm going to be slightly green on the day. Like I said, better than losing money. I tried to buy the dip one time, got clocked. Tried to buy it the second time, and I damn near bottom ticked it. Not that bad. Not that bad. Microsoft trying to break new all-time highs. Yeah, Microsoft is... I actually already marked it out somewhere. But Microsoft is very, very close to new all-time highs. Broadcom hit new all-time highs. Palantir is not that far away. There's actually some of our favorite tech names are looking good. Okay, ES is battling it out at VWAP right now. And then the NASDAQ broke VWAP already. Actually broke it, did a quick retest, and then ripped there at 1025. All right, looking at the options flow, Mag 7 strong, taking a bit of a breather, but from 10 until 1027, the last half hour, actually a new delta high. And then the SPY is actually not far away from its new delta high. Not a bad day to try to catch that bottom. The first one didn't work out for me the best, albeit, but ended up being fine, ended up being a-okay. And maybe, just maybe, I caught a bit of a runner here. This one is now up 750. 750. All right. Alrighty. I'm just basically hoping that this VWAP holds, and I'm hoping that the tech sector here just keeps ripping. So NQ looking good, VWAP battling it out. We have an important just trade level. We have important technical levels. It is the closing value on the SPY. It is the high value from yesterday on the Qs. We'll see how it all goes. Microsoft near an all-time high. Meta fighting its way back up. Broadcom fighting its way back up. Nvidia fighting its way back up. Apple catching a bit of a bounce. Tesla, even though it got hit, it did bounce a couple bucks there, about $4 or $5. Palantir is kind of going flat right now, even though it does have a nice gain on the day. Netflix is looking real good as well. So we have the SPY technically in the red. Oh, I'm about to get clipped potentially. Is it coming for me? All right. I'm hoping that right here, see this low? Just, it flushed it a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm hoping that we had some sitting buy orders just below just to get it back up to VWAP. Obviously, testing VWAP fail, VWAP breakout fail, getting smacked. I'm hoping that buyers step in just below these lows because obviously my stop is triggered just below that, but now it's coming for me.
Order
All
canceled.
Right. Why does this one not have an order? What the fuck? I thought I had an order on this one to get out. Well, that's not how it's supposed to be. Shit. I swear I had that order. How am I messing up my orders this poorly? All right, one account is seemingly going rogue on us here, team. One account is seemingly going rogue. Going rogue. What the fuck happened? Oh, wait. It's showing it as a position live, but it actually did close out. I don't think that's right. Let me I think the position is actually gone. I think it did close out. We might have a false alarm. I think it's a false alarm. I'm gonna wait for Apex to reconnect. Yeah, it was locked in. So for some reason it was showing it, but there was no unrealized. It did get locked in. So we're okay. False alarm, false alarm, false alarm. No problem. No problem. No problemo. No problemo. It happens. And sometimes to just do that quick check, you just disconnect, reconnect, make sure you have no like pending orders or anything like that. So got myself where I need to be. Got myself out of a little bit of the mini hole that I created this morning. And let's see if I can set up the Apex copier properly now. False alarm, false alarm. All right, let me do this. Okay, I did actually toggle them all on properly now. Okay, we don't need this anymore. That was my break even. So slightly in the green. Slightly. What time is it? 10:34. Yeah, having a tough time. This is why I kind of said it aggressively, just because there was that potential reaction, and that's exactly what we saw. You could see the SPY getting some smackarooed right at its closing value, and the Qs smackarooed right at the high value. So both of them, unfortunately, had a bearish reaction to those key levels, which is why you want to have the key levels, like, you want to know where they are. It'd be crazy to just be trading not knowing where these levels are. That's why every single day I mark out the previous high-low close, I mark out the transition zone, I mark out the key open interest levels, and then also recently I've been doing a little bit of work with the major volume levels, as in we might have some potential support at 5958 just because of so many people transacting there, so it might benefit them to defend that particular level. Defend that particular level. And I guess they aren't. Whoa. What the fuck was that? Is there a piece of news? The market just got clipped on that. What the fuck? Is anyone getting any news at all on what the fuck just happened? Anyone getting any news? That was a little... My bot wants to buy. I don't know if I should lit it though. Buy the dip again. I mean, the bot is like literally screaming at me to do it, but I'm not seeing what was the news, if there was news. Let me double check. I do have a news feed here. U.S. should withdraw its measures against China. CCTV. That was at 10:32. That was nothing special. That was nothing special. Nothing special. Hi, Matt. You currently look like a hippo. Just chew you and spit you out again. Are you okay? Why are you spamming that? And what does that even mean? And fuck, we're already back up. President Xi, the U.S. should remove negative measures on China. A hippo? Like, what the fuck? What does that possibly mean? What a strange, like, attempt at an insult. Like, Netflix got a pop. Holy shit. Meta got a pop too. Yeah, a dip. I guess the dip was to be bought. And you're still spamming? Dude, why are you spamming?
Order submitted.
All right. I guess I could have taken that right when the bot was screaming at my face, and now I have an order 10 points from where it should have been. The bot was initially saying to get in at like 68. Yeah, I definitely just chased out of pure, I guess, greed, emotion, whatever you want to call it. That was silly. I got all jacked up. I seen this recovery thinking, dude, little fake out, dumps it, bots overreact, and then people realize what the news is, digested. I mean, that's how quickly this stuff happens. Is this guy still fucking spamming? All right, I'll give him one more chance to realize that he's retarded. If he stands one more time, I'm just gonna block him. Like, people are just so fucking stupid. All right, there it is. What does that even mean? You currently like a hippo just chew you. Yo, Matt, you currently look like a hippo just chew you and spit you out again. Are you? What does that mean? A hippo? Like, what a strange. What just like an insanely strange thing. Like, I've read strange things. All right, well, we're going to sacrifice him out of just pure stupidity. Bye. That's a fast way. A real quick way. Like, what does that mean? A hippo? Like, is that a particular insult in certain places in this world? To, like, accuse you of being chewed up by a hippo? Like a hippo. Unique. I don't know. Culturally, that one doesn't really hit well in the U.S. I think there's, my hair is slightly crooked. Well, let's see. What does it look like? Do the big screen. I'm happy with it. Yo, Matt, paying my demerit. Can you give me a TLDR on what I missed so far today? Yeah, we got some not exciting news related to the European interest rate they were expected to cut. They did cut. Initial jobless claims came in higher than expected. Things were all jacked up this morning on the fact that it was reported from Chinese media that Trump and Xi Jinping were speaking. So we started off pretty green, and then within 10 minutes, we were at the high from yesterday, and then by 10 minutes later, we were at the low from yesterday. And then that was down here. We started to recover because options. What the fuck is happening right now? What the hell is this, team? And now we're just fucking pumping because the bots are attempting to interpret what we're hearing from China. So right now we have news hitting the wire about China here. Let me just bring it up for everyone. I can start reading it. China's President Xi, the two sides should enhance exchanges in diplomatic, economic, trade, military, and law enforcement. President Trump is welcome to visit China again. Mexico's President Sheinbaum to talk steel tariffs with the U.S.'s Landau, June 11th. President Xi tells Trump China implemented Geneva Agreement. The U.S. and China should reduce misunderstandings. The U.S. and China should increase cooperation on economy and trade. Breaking. China's President Xi and Trump agreed to start a new round of talks ASAP. That's why the market just popped. A new round of talks. Do I want to move my stop up? I should move it up somewhat. I would love to move it to break even. Like I said, the bot was telling me to go long somewhere in here. Should have listened to it because then I could be risking VWAP and I would be fine. But no, I didn't because I'm fucking stupid. President Xi, it's important to dispel disruptions to the China-U.S. relations. So this is all seemingly pretty good. So President Xi Jinping of China is literally talking right now. So that's why we're getting the drop and then the pop. So at first, it seems like it was the inappropriate reaction to what was being said. And then people, he kept talking and talking. And that's what I'm reading to you guys right now. And we are moving along. Netflix popping, Meta popping, Broadcom popping, Microsoft popping, Meta popping, Nvidia catching a bid, Apple even going up a bit, Tesla not much. Tesla's having its own little battles right now. Tesla's having its own little battles right now. All right, we're coming back to my position, which is essentially VWAP. I'm hoping that this can hold. All right, where are we here? 5 minute trying to go bullish, 10 minute trying to go bullish, 30 minute trying to hold. On the NASDAQ, 5 minute bullish, 10 minute bullish, 30 minute bullish, 4 hour bullish. So the tech sector is leading the way higher. And we're also seeing that in the Mag 7, which made a new Delta high just now. The S&P 500 is the one that's a little bit questionable. Yes, the 5 minute is now technically bullish. The 10 minute, when we close in 5 minutes, would be bullish. And the 30 minute, well, unfortunately, that's 15 minutes to go, but it is on the north side of its EMA cloud. So will this hold? Basically, the question here is, what was the fake out? Was the fake out this drop? Or was the fake out this pop? And obviously, time will tell, especially when it's just so headline driven. Like, just the headlines are leading this, and it's a tough bet. But we started off the day on top of the transition zone. Then we got into the transition zone. Then we puked out of it. Then we found support at the other side of the transition zone in the key call out level. Then we came all the way back up to the closing value from yesterday. Then we puked back out of the transition zone. And then on this news, we now ripped up to the top side of the transition zone. And we're hoping that this can hold. So we got an overreaction almost hitting the next key open interest level at 59.85. And now we're hoping that somewhere in here can hold between 59.71 and 59.75. Hopefully, new support can be found in here. We make a foundation and we bounce back up and we test 59.85 officially. That's what I am looking for. That is what I am looking for. And this is roughly my long level. I'm long on ES, but if you're looking at the SPX equivalent, it's basically 59. Oh, another pop. Oh, something else must be saying, oh, we're going now. What was this? What was that? I'm waiting for the news to hit the wire. I'm waiting for the news to hit the wire. Waiting. Dude, something's being announced. It's just not being reported yet. Come on, CCTV, fucking faster. What is it? What's the news? What's the fuck? What's in the box? What's in the box? The U.S. and China should avoid conflicts because of Taiwan. So the market liking that. The market is saying, yeah, we should avoid conflicts because of Taiwan. Dude, I need a beer. Mello, if you invite me over to have a beer at your place tonight, I will be there. I will be there. Bruce Wayne, I'm here. I'm here, people. I'm here. Bruce, you're going to be so upset to realize that 2 people have taken your crown as the dumbest fucking person. You took the morning off and you didn't have the capability to battle it out. And it was, you would be impressed, honestly. I think you would appreciate how dumb the other 2 people were in here. So unfortunately, you are no longer my major punching bag. We had to delete one guy. He accused me of being chewed up by a hippo, which is a super strange insult, like a very strange insult, which is not why I banned him. It was more because he was spamming. But I have to admit, in my mind, I'm still thinking about being accused of being chewed up by an insult. And then the other one is just a legit dumb person who's still in here. And he goes by the name of Swamp Fox, and he thinks he's some amazing anti-market making, taking down the dark pool AMC trader. He's one of those guys that AMC is trading at different levels in the dark pool, and it's going to be millions of dollars a share. It's crazy. Yo, Matt, you look like you got... Oh, is that the same one? Is that the same guy who made a new account? What does that mean? I'm still... You look like you got chewed up and spit out by a hippo. It's just... I have so many questions. Like, I don't know if I understand the insult. Like, why a hippo? Like, out of everything in the animal kingdom that you could be chewed up and spit out by, like, is that meant to be the most offensive? The least offensive? Somewhere in the middle? Like, I need like, if I were to ask you guys, is it more or less offensive to get chewed up by, like, a lion? Like, which one's worse? Like, would you be more emotionally distraught if a lion chewed you up and spit you out, or if a hippo chewed you up and spit you out? Like, hippos are more than silverback gorillas. Like, hippos are worse. Like, that's a more offensive thing. I'm really trying to break this down. It has me, not only does this talk with the US and China have me trying to figure out what's going on, I really am trying to, like, understand the level of this insult, because it's just not quite clicking. YouTube about hippos, you trip it. Come on, boomer, figure it out. Well, I just need a breakdown sheet of, like, the animal kingdom, and if it's more or less offensive to be chewed up and spit out by that particular animal. I like him big, I like him chunky. Hippos are for hippies. Hippos are deadly. Yes, they are very deadly. Fast and can swim. Same with alligators, same with crocodiles, same with sharks. Like, if I were to tell you guys you look like you got chewed up and spit out by a great white shark, is that more or less offensive than a hippo? It seems like it would be less offensive. I can't put my finger on why, but it does seem less offensive. Like, it does. It seems like a shark, right, is less offensive than a hippo. Hippos are the deadliest animal in the world. I think only a hippo could do that to you. I don't think they're the deadliest. Aren't mosquitoes? I know they are deadly and could easily, like, they're super aggressive, they're super territorial, and would easily, like, fuck up a human. But don't mosquitoes account for the most deaths per year? Pretty sure mosquitoes wear the crown of the deadliest. But that's just my lack of knowledge in the death space of things in the kingdom. It's often, according to ChatGPT, it often describes someone who has been through a rough or brutal experience and come out the other side battered, disoriented, and changed. Well, I agree with that. I have to deal with you fuckers all day. Deadliest hippo on this side of the Mississippi. All right, here's a look at the Mag 7, still long and strong. Here's a look at the Spy, still long and strong. I'm just hoping my stop doesn't get hit, because I do think that this thing pops. IWM did not catch a bid, though, on that. Not really. The market is apparently leaving behind the small cap sector. Maybe he means Hippo Holdings. I don't know what Hippo Holdings are. Well, I know I'm going to have to do some extensive research on the matter this evening. Bears are still trying to sell, and bulls are still trying to buy. That is the endless harmony of bulls and bears. Matt Hippo. That's your new account. You put Matt and Hippo together. Matt Hippo. What do you think about Unity? I know there's one recently disgraced, horrible trader trying to make a comeback, trying to pump it to all of his followers. So by that alone, I think I'm going to stay away from it, because the creator who's attempting to pump Unity is a proven liar and scammer. So for all I know, maybe he's paid to promote it. So I don't want to be caught holding anyone's bags. He's fat shaming you? Oh, it's probably my wife then. If this is a low level fat shaming thing, well, maybe it's not my wife. If it were my wife, it'd be high level fat shaming right now. So my best guess is it's my wife if this is an attempt at fat shaming. But if it were, I have a sneaky suspicion that it'd be far more aggressive. Far more aggressive. But you never know. You never know. Come on. I want this right here. I want this to be the low. We bounce right off the closing value, rip to the high. We bounce right off the high value, we rip to an even higher high. Let's see how the swingers are doing. Okay. We were up, well, at one point it was up 15K. Then it looks like it was down 8. Then it was up 15 again, and now it's up 10. So not bad. I mean, I'll take it. I would prefer that we just keep going here and make me feel better about my life. It would definitely make me feel better. And then these trades, I am in the green. Your boy is net green. Should I just go stop to break even? Or do I just let this baby ride? I am long at 81. I should have been in at 68. Somewhere between 66 and 69. Do I move my stop up to 78? $150 risk. So I'd be slightly red on the day if that hits. I feel like this should be my last trade of the day. I think I do need to wrap this up. So how do I want to manage it? I can tell you that if we break above 91/95, I'll be cooking with gasoline. I don't think we're enough in my favor that I can move my stop to break even quite yet. It feels a little too close. It's within 4 points. That's damn fucking close. It's what, obviously if we make a fresh high here, if we take out 95, of course I'll be doing it then. But I do like this higher low. I do. I also like that the 5 minutes bullish. The 10 minute technically didn't close bullish, but we're battling there. The 30 minute has 4 minutes to go. NASDAQ bullish. So the tech sector is strong right now. So I'm liking that. Mag 7, new delta. Look at that delta flow. Strong. SPY is also strong. Yeah, we got the old 1020 reversal. The question is this, are we going to hit 5985 if the bulls win that test? What about 5991, yesterday's high? And then from there, we're talking about that mythical, magical level at 6,000. The mythical, magical level. So that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, if you want these trades, well, now I'm up 12K. Remember, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video is how you can get into the Goonie Trading Discord for free. Your first month is free if you use that promo code Goonie. 1 month free, full access, no questions asked. If you want to hang out afterwards, great. We'd love to have you. If it's not quite your speed, if it's not for you, just make sure to cancel your account within the first month and you're not going to get charged anything. You get all access to everything I do in the private trading community, and it is of no risk to you. No risk to you. So check it out. Just make sure you are putting in that promo code Goonie. And we are picking up. All right, like I said, I like it taking out 91, this recent high, and then I like it taking out 95. Oh, okay, I need to do some risk management here. All right. Right now, my risk is 4 points, so I'm risking $200. I have a locked-in gain of 37, so I'd be down about 175. Interessante. What is my plan with Avago? To make a shitload of money, buy a yacht, and sail the world with my cat. That's the plan. Will it happen? I don't know. Risk management, don't swim with hippos. All right, I'm a little bit... Obviously, we got rejected at 85/91, rejected at 85, rejected at 85. Is this next test going to be the lucky charm? Is this next test going to be the lucky charm? The Mag 7 flow says yes. The S&P 500 flow says yes. Hang on, let me give you guys some other metrics. All right, as of now, the call buyers are saying there is a ceiling at 6,000. As of now, the put buyers are saying there's a floor at 59.40. 59.40. All right, that is an interesting play. Oh, okay. I need to do something here. I need to make some trades, not have my head so far up my ass. I'm trying to execute this trade and it's just pending on me. Fuck. Do I just exit? All right. Bricked? Seriously? I'm just stuck. Fuck this. I'm just stuck pending. Loading. I'm literally trying to execute a trade, son of a bitch. All right. We'll do the old force quit. All right. Just to double check, I do not have any positions. All right. Well, now this is probably trading out of anger, but to each their own. All right. If you're in the Discord, obviously I just executed a trade, as everyone else just heard. I'm taking a quick screenshot, getting it into you guys ASAP. Where are you guys in the Discord? All right. If you're in the Discord, just sold a bit of premium, and on top of that, we also had Pipper firing off. All right, if you're in here, I'm trying to give you Pipperoni. All right, is it the 5th? All right. If you are in the Discord, I just posted my trade in there, and then also Piper fired off. I played it a little bit different than Piper today, but that's just because I'm feeling a little bit crazy. And then other than that, I am riding this, and now I wonder if I should still just do different risk management. We're running into a shelf here at 94 on ES. Look at all that action. 94, 90, 95, really. Look at 95. But I am up $600. That's a nice... Oh, wait a second. These ones are almost done. I only need to get 3,000 in profit on all of these, and then there's no point in trading them anymore. All right. That's something I probably should have considered. There's literally no point. 95, 98, 98, 98. Those are evals, so there's literally no reason to be going over 3K because that's the max top profit target. So right here, these accounts, eval. Oh, actually, 97. 97. So hopefully I could dump these soon, because to pass them, all you have to do is get 3K, and I'm almost at 3K. In fact, if they go up $1 more, $2 more, I'll be good. So I'm overriding it on these 5 because there's no benefit for me. Why does it do that? You're blind, my bad. But right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how these ones say pro? That means that they're already funded accounts. These ones don't say pro, these 5 right here, these top 5, which means that they're still eval accounts. So the fact that they're evals, well, part of the eval challenge is 50% consistency, trade for 5 days, but the profit you need is $3K. And as you can see, they're all at 2,900, as in there's no point for me to go more than that. So that's why I'm overriding it. But these other ones I'm gonna let ride because why not? The more the merrier. So ideally I just needed to hit 97. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to be taking profits on these pretty soon. Hopefully just a little bit of a pop up to 97, and then we should be Gucci. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. And I should be able to hit that before the high from yesterday. Meta taking a bit of a hit right now. Matt, does your edge increase when you override your bot? Definitely not. NVIDIA is going up. Broadcom's going up. Meta was going up, taking a bit of a hit now. Microsoft's going up. Palantir was going up, taking a little bit of a breather. Netflix is still going up. Apple's going up. Tesla is still down a lot on the day, but decent recovery since 9:45. Decent recovery. It looks like the Qs are running into an issue at 531.50, a little bit of a double top situation, even though the SPY is undershooting its intraday high and its high from yesterday. 5 minutes is bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 4 hours bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 4 hours. So all 8 time frames, the 5, the 10, the 30 on both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Right now, momentum is favoring the bulls. We're on top of the EMAs for all of those time frames. The issue is that we're running into this right here. 5985. We struggled there this morning. We struggled there at 10:42. We struggled there at 10:46. And we're now once again struggling there. This time, though, we're not getting as swift of a pullback. So it's telling me that the bulls are a bit more aggressive, but that doesn't mean they're going to win. And if they do win, the next resistance is only 6 points above. It is at 5991. You never know when profit takers are going to step in, the bears are going to step in, or the bulls are going to take their money. You don't know. So this is why we measure out these key levels, because clearly reaction. And if you don't believe me, these go to the start of the stream before the market even opened. These were called out before the market opened. Way before the market opened. Same thing with all these levels. I put them in the Discord at 8 a.m. this morning. And that just shows you how pivotal knowing where the big open interest levels are, because we tend to react to them throughout the actual trading session. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. I'm thinking, well, hang on. What am I doing here? Okay. At minimum, there's no reason for me to risk money anymore. Moving my stop to break even. So no longer risking any money. Okay. I just want to make sure that propagated properly across all the accounts. It did. Okay, cool. So no longer risking money, basically putting my stop at VWAP. I'm not in love with that. I do. How much is it in my? It's 10 points in my favor. Should I just be more aggressive and even put it up at this shelf? That's the bottom of the 10 minutes. So we'd be giving back this entire 10-minute bar. Oh, decisions. What do I want to do? Or I could take my $500 on all 30 accounts. I could take my 15K and just be done. That's a whole nother option. A whole additional option is I could take my $15,000 and say fucking deuces. Why couldn't it just rip? At least let's just tag 6,000 here on ES. Remember, the 6,000 on ES is not 6,000 on SPX. Those levels don't perfectly align. On SPX, we're at 5982. 5982 right now in real time, and we're at it's off by about 10 points. It's off by 9 points. We're at 90. So for this level up here, technically a little bit lower, this 6,011, that is roughly where SPX would be at 6,000, which is why I put that level there. It's off somewhere between 8 and 12 points. I just say 10 roughly. And that's just because of the contract rollover in the futures market of why they're not perfectly aligned. So they move the same amount, but they just have a different nominal value. They have a different starting point, but they go up and down the same amount. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. All right, well, we're getting into a little bit of consolidation right now. The Mag 7 still looking good. The SPY, we have some profit takers coming in right here. Surprise, surprise at this level. So I'm hoping as soon as that profit taking is over, we're able to pop up. Ooh, should I just use this low as my risk now? I might. Guarantee, instead of $25, guarantee some actual money on the day. Guarantee I make at least 400 per account, 30 accounts. 12K, that's not bad. 12K a day keeps the doctor away. 12K a day does in fact keep the doctor away. We have this little pullback. We have that little pullback. We have options, people. We have options. I'm really thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it. Between me, you, and the lamppost, my dad always used to say that. Between me, you, and the lamppost. I'm like, Dad, how often are the two of us talking with a lamppost? It makes no sense. He never gave me the answer to that. He never informed me how often we are, in fact, talking to a lamppost, but I think it's an important saying nonetheless. Nonetheless. Come on. SPY, a little bit of a pop. Mag 7, we're seeing that nice string. Bullish. We're battling it out again at 85. All right. Fuck it. All right. I put my stop in. Did it propagate properly? It did. All right. So no matter what, 8 points, no matter what, I'm making $400 on the account. Worst case scenario, 30 accounts, 400 each, 12K. No matter what, that's how we're doing it. That's how we're doing it. And then I have this reach target up here. So worst case scenario is 400. If it follows through, it could be somewhere in the middle. And then the max money I'm willing to make is 1,500. So max is 1,500 per account. Min is 400 per account. And in reality, it might be somewhere in the middle. So that's how I'm handling it. That's how I'm handling it. I just don't want to have to deal with another like a double top rejection. It takes out this low vomits. I just don't want to have to take that risk of it like bouncing all the way back up, because maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know what the next bar is going to be. Avago's looking good. Tesla's recovering. Netflix is looking great. Palantir's looking good. Microsoft is looking good. Meta got hit after looking really good. Nvidia's looking good. Apple's looking decent, and even Tesla's having that decent recovery. So the bulls are back in control, baby. Let's hope that, I don't know, I'm looking for this magic, mythical, legendary level of 6,000. I've been looking for it for days. I feel like I'm searching for El Dorado. I feel like I'm a conquistador ripping through the jungles, finding that city of gold, and it's been elusive thus far. But with a little bit of perseverance and a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of chutzpah, I don't know what that means, but it sounded appropriate to say we might just be able to see 6,000. We might just be able to see it. Folks, I'm going to leave you there. If you want to come hang out in the Discord, it's free. I do look like I got into a battle with a hippo, which is interesting. But you should see the hippo. I might look like this, but imagine what the hippo looks like is what I'm trying to say. Market, obviously the bulls recovered. You know the levels I'm looking for, and I'm just going to go actively trade in the Discord. If you want to be there, it's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. Your first month is 100% free. There's no catches, no gimmicks, nothing like that. 1 month free, full access to everything. If you like it, stick around. If you don't, I understand. You still get the newsletter for 100% free. That's what I have for you guys right now. We'll be posting an update video later on today, and then we're going to be streaming tomorrow morning, and it's going to be a payday Friday. We're giving away some cold, hard cash. We're giving away some prop accounts and all that good jazz, so I hope to see you guys there. Appreciate all the good vibes. I hope you make a shitload of money. I'll catch you later. Peace.